Deputy Harris, hope you like flying. Beautiful day for it. I never flew U.S. Marshal before. Why is he all chained up?
I have to get him to New York so we can testify against the Morley crime family.
Okay, hey, you're the boss.
I can't seem to face up to the facts. I'm dancing nervous and I can't relax.
Is it always this bumpy?
A number of passengers have left their lunch up here. I can open a snack bar.
Can't sleep cause my bed's on fire.
Your neck okay? You got a scratch there.
Maintenance. Occupational hazard.
Don't touch me, don't touch me. I'm a real life fire. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est?
Moretti is very disappointed in you, Winston, and he wants you dead.
Don't
shoot him, we need him!
Mayday, mayday. We've been compromised. The pilot's a hitman.
Hello, my name is Michael Morley, and I'm here to review Flight Risk. Directed by Mel Gibson, starring Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Dockery, and Topper Grace. This movie is about an air marshal played by Michelle Dockery who takes a witness who is in protective custody played by Topper Grace, who is basically, they have him chained up, he's locked up, they don't want him to run away. They don't want him to disappear. Well, he has certain information about someone that could potentially get them to be locked up for good. So they go on a small flight through the Alaskan wilderness to go to the States for him to go to trial. However, we have a pilot that's flying the plane, played by Mark Wahlberg. We start to reveal right away that there is something wrong with Mark Wahlberg. He's a bit off. He's a bit odd. He's a bit different. We find out that he's actually sentenced to kill Topper Grace's character, so he does not stand trial and does not give out anything about this killer that could potentially get time in prison. So Mark Wahlberg is sent to kill him. He murders the pilot, who was originally someone else. Topper Grace actually notices it by looking at the picture license underneath the chair, and that's when he finds out, oh god, this pilot is an imposter. This person is not the pilot that he's claiming to be. And yes, Mark Wahlberg is bold in this movie. At times, it looked really ridiculous. It was funny. This is one of the most different, probably the most different movie I have seen for Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson has directed period pieces like Braveheart, The Passion of Christ, Apocalypto, Hacksaw Ridge. This is very different from those movies. And you know what? I think if any critic goes into this expecting it to be like those movies, you're an idiot. You need to know exactly what this movie is. This is a guilty pleasure, dumb fun, popcorn flick. Yes, the dialogue is clunky. Yes, some of the comedy is a bit forced. It starts off a bit sloppy. It was a bit sloppy at the start, and I was a bit worried. But as it goes on and we find out, once it gets into the motion of the story of them on the plane through Alaska, and Mark Wahlberg reveals himself as a killer trying to kill Topper Grace, this is when the movie starts to really pick up. And this is where I started to know exactly what kind of movie this was. If you have seen movies like Cliffhanger, starring Sylvester Stallone, movies like Vertical Limit, 6 Days and 7 Nights, this movie definitely, even Fly the Phoenix with Dennis Quaid, which I think is a guilty pleasure as well. If you go into this movie having that expectation, that it has that mindset of a guilty pleasure, popcorn, dumb, fun flick, you are really going to have a fun time watching this. And yes, it goes for an hour and a half, so it's not too long. It doesn't drag, because there's only so much you can do when you are stuck on a plane with a weirdo. So there's only so many ideas and stories they can come up with, and they do it well. Mark Wahlberg is just having fun. You can tell he is just really playing a wacky, crazy character. Michelle Dockery plays like a very serviceable, great role. She's got to fly the plane, she's got to watch Topper Grace, and then she's got to watch a serial killer that's behind them trying to kill them. She's multitasking, so she's got a lot to do, and Topper Grace just has a lot of humour. He is the plucky comic relief. He brings a lot of laughs to this movie. Even Mark Wahlberg brings laughs to this too, but Topper Grace is the audience character. But it is not a great movie. I'm not even going to say it's a masterpiece, but it is fun. It's guilty pleasure. I just notice a lot of critics are being really hard on this movie, and everyone's just comparing it to all of Mel Gibson's other movies. And actually, I feel sorry for Mel, because I can tell he wanted to do something different for a change. I can tell he wanted to do something lighthearted. He wanted to do something that didn't take itself so seriously. I didn't come out of this movie hating on it. I actually came out of it loving how it ended and how it resolved itself. Is it a bad movie? To me, I knew exactly what I was getting with this film. Just give it a go. If you know what you're expecting, you know what you're getting, you will have a good time. 6.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna tear you apart. The tiny little pieces, they're gonna need the entire forensics team to identify you.
Tell me how to fly this thing, or we will die out here.
Clearly, you've mistaken me for somebody who actually gives them.
You hear that? Looks military.
You think he's there to help? He's there to shoot you down.
Come on, damn it!
Y'all need a pilot?